We all heard quite a lot about how different markets are going to be disrupted. I'm going to talk about the data industry, specifically about web data. But before talking about who I am, what Bright Data are doing, and the industry itself, I want to start by talking about maybe the oldest industry in the world, which is farming. So meet Rick McGraw. Rick is an actual cowboy. I know he doesn't look like the regular typecast of cowboy that you would imagine, but for the past 2 decades, Rick has been working with cattle in his hometown at Little Rock, Arkansas. A few years ago, Rick and his partners thought that maybe if they'll be able to harness the right technology, specifically data and web data, they'll be able to compete better with the largest players in their industry, maybe even to grab larger market share. Now, I'll get back to Rick and his story and what he's doing with Bright Data in a couple of slides, but first I would like to explain a bit or touch about what web data means. And I think that the best way to explain it is by the following statement that I stand behind. Today, the internet is the largest database in the history of mankind. Most of it is public. Let that sink for a second just to realize what we're talking about. And as all of us have been here in the last couple of years, hearing and learning about COVID every day, we all have our master's degree in understanding what an exponential growth is, looking at graphs all day long. This is an exponential growth of the amount of data that is being uploaded to the web every single year. Me standing here speaking to you, this is data shifting from the physical world. You're listening right here. These guys there and the cameras are documenting what I'm saying, digitizing it, and it's all being uploaded to the web. If you'll see the numbers there, you can see that today we're talking about 97 zettabytes of data online. Zettabyte, by the way, it's 97 with 21 zeros after. Okay, it's trying to imagine the size of the universe. It's almost impossible. The previous couple of years are referred to as the data explosion era, but that's honestly just the beginning. You can see the numbers just going up and up and up. Now, before getting back to Rick, what we're doing in Bright Data is trying to take this huge, enormous resource that anyone should be using and making it easier for anyone to actually use it. We build software that allows every company in the world to take unstructured data, for example, a web page, an HTML, and shift it into a structured database that the machine can read and work with. It can be a table, it can be an Excel. We've been doing it very successfully with over 350 employees, serving over 15,000 customers around the world, many Fortune 500 included. We've already passed a while ago the $100 million in annual revenues, and since the first day of the company, we were very profitable. Rick is also included in those 15,000 customers that we serve. What he was able to do with our products is basically take this huge database and turn this data to be a commodity that anyone can use, even Rick the cowboy. He wants to compete, so with that public data that we helped him to get, he's able to monitor what his competitors are doing and how much they're selling their products on e-commerce websites. He also wants to monitor what's going on around the world when it comes to things that can hurt or damage or have any impact on his organization, like droughts and floods and hurricanes. You won't believe it maybe, but he's doing it by monitoring social networks and searching for the relevant hashtags to understand what's going on. He also wants to sell, and he wants to sell well, and he wants to sell more. So he's using that web data resource in order to try and understand his potential customers' sentiment by searching and collecting their reviews and posts from the open web. Now, if Rick is doing it, then for sure other companies are also doing it. And the disruption that I'm talking about is to be able to touch that large database, no matter if you're a cowboy from Little Rock, Arkansas, or if you're one of the largest corporations in the world. This is how the technology works. That's the gist of it. You can see that on one side you have a code that is running, basically automating a work that an army of human beings would have been able to do years ago before this automation existed. And on the right-hand side, you can see the browser that is actually executing the command. Pretty trivial, but to do it in scale is almost impossible. And if you're Rick and you can't really read that or understand that, and you just want to get an Excel sheet with the prices of your competitors, that's also possible, not a problem. It's true for the cattle industry, but obviously that's a niche market. We serve almost every industry in the world. For sure, as you can all imagine, the e-commerce industry, the travel industry, financial industry, security, marketing, and probably 30 or 40 additional industries. We actually talked to Rick yesterday. I told him about this presentation and wanted to get his blessing, and he told us that through Bright Data, we have the ability to know rather than guess about our customers. We have the data that we can ingest to actually know the customer rather than making assumption. And that's the strength. Before tools like Bright Data, only the big tech companies were able to get into this database and to extract the data they need. Now even people like Rick can do that. And I'll finish by just saying that the future is pretty bright, not just for us, but for everyone, because data is becoming a commodity. 7 out of the 10 largest e-commerce companies are using our services. 2 out of the largest 5 American banks are using our technology. And 76% of the largest universities in the world are harnessing our technology for their research needs. And today, Bright Data has become the largest web data collection platform in the world, excluding the leading search engines, but we'll get there also. So the disruption is not just in making data available and accessible for all, but the fact that data will be available and accessible for all will also help disrupting other industries. Thank you very much.